We are live. Welcome back to Aussies taking over the NBA. Andy, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. The Boomers play tonight, the Dominican Republic.
They do. They do. Very exciting times here. We are top to the group
Yeah,
quite well. Beat our arch rival Lithuania in the last game, which was a pretty excellent game with Paddy just being clutch as always. But yeah, man, it's been a good tournament thus far, and we are looking forward to obviously playing the Dominican Republic tonight. Probably the weakest team in the second group stage.
yeah. Explain
So
this. You were just explaining the group phase to me.
Oh, okay,
Oh
yeah.
man,
So this is
explain
very
that to me.
convoluted,
Yeah, it's
very
so
convoluted.
confusing.
So in the next group phase, we play two teams, even though Lithuania is in our group. So all the wins that we carried, as well as the foreigner guest from the first round, goes into the second round. So we play two games. We play against the Dominican Republic tonight, France on Monday night, 10 p.m. And essentially, we have to win both games to guarantee a spot in the quarterfinals. And the reason for that is or we have to rely on France winning all their games. If France wins all their games, then Lithuania will only end up on 3 wins. We will end up on 4 wins, and France will end up on 5 wins. So just to be sure, we have to beat France. If we don't beat France, and France and Lithuania beat France, we then rely on for and against, which we're about 36 points down at the moment.
Yeah,
Uh,
mainly
because
because of
obviously
that Senegal game, eh?
Yeah, we should have rinsed them, but
Yeah,
everything's been pretty close. I mean, it was a good bit of a blowout against Canada, but Senegal got absolutely rinsed by Lithuania, so they've done themselves tons of favors. But hey, we've also got the Dominican Republic tonight. Hopefully, we can put up a big score against them and take it away. But yeah, that's how the second round works, and then obviously from there is the quarterfinals, where we will play either Greece,
oof,
Serbia, Greece, or Brazil.
oh, that's a murderer's row, man. They're probably
Most likely, if we finish second, we'll play Serbia. If we finish first in this group, we'll either play Greece or Brazil.
That's a murderer's row of three of the probably the best teams in the tournament besides USA.
Yeah, I much would have preferred to play against Argentina or Poland or the Czech
Mm,
Republic. Some has been team, but it looks like the USA got the easier route, and we took the hardest. But hey, we were in the group of death and we won every game,
mm-hmm.
hardest group, and took it out pretty well. So happy with that. But let's go back to that Senegal game.
Yeah. Last
Uh,
time we came to you live after the first game against Canada. Pretty convincing win against Canada, which was good. A little bit of a scare in that third quarter, and then the Senegal game. I remember you texting me and saying, "Yeah, we should just smash these guys. Just pretty routine victory here." And then they were so springy, man, so bouncy.
yeah, really bouncy, really good on the offensive glass. The other thing was it was weird. They shot 1 from 27 against Lithuania from the three ball, and I think they shot about 35% against us.
Yeah,
I don't think it's bad defense. I just think they got really, really streaky and fluky, and just we couldn't take the game away from them. So they crashed the offensive boards. We turned the ball over so much, man. It's absurd how many times we turn the ball over. Really, ball security, and that's what happens when you play a high IQ, high complexity offense with a lot of passing.
mm,
I said this from the beginning that you look at our assist count compared to any other team in the competition, it's going to be much, much higher. And that's true hands down. A lot of the other teams are kind of these ISO players, or rotations looking for the pick and roll and a dribble to the bucket. So if anyone doesn't understand FIBA rules, the ball cannot be put on the floor between catching it and the bucket in order to it count as assist. It has to essentially be on the road to the hoop to
mm.
count as an assist. But Jingle and Joe Ingles pretty much dominated that game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists.
Yeah, man. Even
He was just phenomenal.
Delhi had times as well. Like it makes you feel a better. Like it's more noteworthy to get an assist in that FIBA. So for Joe Ingles to
Yeah,
have pretty much a triple double, that's phenomenal. And
it's just
he just makes things happen when the ball's in his hands. It's crazy. But the thing is that we've got Delhi running offense, then you got Paddy who runs offense, then you got Joe Ingles who runs offense, and
and
they're
even
all
Bogut can
yeah
run
the
offense. That's the
the
thing.
point Bogut. But they're all three different types of offense. You know what I mean? Like usually you have to get out of Joe Ingles' way for him to initiate anything. Like it's just like get out of his way. He can do two or three of these things, and usually they'll result in a bucket where, you know, Paddy will run his own normal sort of point guard, and then Delhi with his sort of back in, and I don't know what he was doing at the end of that Senegal game where he was backing in, or the Lithuania game where he's just backing in and then just dancing across the lane and terminating his dribble, just being like, oh, somebody, you know, take a pass from me here. So it was good to see Joe Ingles absolutely carving it up. Bogut, what did he have? 6 points. 3 of 3 from the field. It's not too bad. Paddy Mills, 22 points, 8 of 16. 3 of 8 from 3. Chris Goulding coming off the bench. I thought he played all right. He had two little stints where, I mean, he only shot 2 threes, but those threes were pretty timely. Like, you come off the bench, we needed a bucket. He got us a bucket, which was good to see.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you have to give it to Aaron Baines as well. Bainesy's been an absolute monster this tournament. Looking in some of the best form I've seen him in his entire career. Just hitting 3 balls, rolling to the hoop. You know, relatively good ball security for a big man. Just getting there. A lot of pretty springy for an old dude. A big guy as well. He's not, you know, kind of lanky and skinny 7 foot. He's a 6'10" nugget.
Yeah.
And, you know, being able to get above the hoop. This, I have to say, was Jock Landau's, you know, death by fire. He was terrible this game.
The Senegal team, man, like, that seems to be our Achilles heel, is that lack of athleticism, where they just destroyed us on the glass, and it was a tactical type of thing. It wasn't just within the play they seemed to find something to do against us. They seemed to just crash the boards. Like, make sure you crash the boards all the time. Crash the boards. We got a little impatient in that third quarter where it seemed to affect us. The offense was going cold a little bit, but then you could see us just go, you know, they'll go cold eventually. You know, our defense kind of ramped up a little bit in the end of the third, early fourth, and then we're able to sort of pull out the victory. But that athleticism combo, man, like, imagine having to go up against like Giannis or something like that.
Well, that's it. I mean, the other thing as well is you have to look at most of the FIBA teams. They're not 5 out of 5 athletic players. And you'd have to say that even the USA, this is the most unathletic team that they've sent. Plumlee, Joe Harris, these guys aren't athletic guys. You know, they're decent players. Joe Harris is a fantastic shooter, but there's not a hell of a lot of athleticism. You know, Kemba Walker's not an athlete. He's a crafty basketball player. You know, you've probably got Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. These guys, Tatum's injured as well. Like, there's not actually a lot of athletic, springy dudes out there. It seems to be these African teams, Nigeria, Senegal, that they just get away with raw athleticism as opposed to, you know, skill-based. Whereas you play a team, and we can come to the Lithuania game, man, they're skillful teams. Sabonis backing down in the paint, Valanciunas backing down in the paint. Very hard to guard. These guys are quality bigs. But where I really think that they struggled was in that power forward spot. And that's where guys like Nick Kay really took advantage of that, is they were able to lose their man very easily on the rotation because they're just weak at 4, which I didn't think we were strong for. But hey, against Lithuania, it seemed to work quite well.
They had, like, they started the game, and I was sitting there sort of thinking to myself, their guards are terrible. Like, where are your guards, Lithuania? It's basically toss the ball into Sabonis and who was the big Valanciunas. Like, it was tossing it into them and then nothing else. Like, you know, nothing happened, but just toss it into them again. And I was thinking to myself, oh, Lithuania got no guards. They're trying to play really fast. This suits us perfectly. We're really good in transition.
It's great. It's when they slowed the game down in the third quarter, is that we didn't kind of have the first half. It was just like, yep, let's shoot in transition. Let's speed the game up. And Lithuania, it's like you're walking right into the Aussie trap. If anything, they're fast. They can run the floor a lot better than Lithuania because they're smaller guards. Jock Landau is very, very good on the open floor, and they're much better a passing team. Whereas Lithuania was just getting caught in all man's land, getting up poor shot choices. And then when they slowed it down in that second half, they took the lead fairly quickly, and then we had to change our game plan. But I didn't think Lithuania ever looked like winning, even though it got close. They just didn't look like they could execute.
Well, they tied it up pretty late in the third, I think, or early in the fourth, was it? I think it.
It was late in the third,
and it felt like we had just gone dry. You know what I mean? But sometimes with this Aussie team, I feel like, we've gone dry here, boys. Like, who are we going to look to for a bucket? sometimes Patty Mills will come through and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, Patty Mills. And then if he doesn't, there's no one else really to come through. But I thought Joe Ingles sort of came through a little bit in the third and fourth. But their guards, like, look at this Lucas Lekavicius or something like 7 of 11, 7 of 9 from 2, basically. Well, I think it was him. It was just get him to that foul line. He just dribble off from the 3-point line and shoot from the foul line.
Straight into those little floaters.
Yeah, man. And it was just rinsing us. It was just killing us. And, Canada did that in that first game in Australia. And then the USA did it in the first game. Like, they were getting in the mid-range a lot. Any team's going to look at this, potential matchup against the Aussies and go, right, you just get to the mid-range. Like, they have decent perimeter defenders. But I've noticed, like, we trap up high, like, heaps. Like, very some high. Crazy stuff. Like, Joey was just racing out. Yeah. And then you're like, hang on, one dribble, and then the guy just gets a floater pretty much uncontested. Goulding does a little bit as well. And I don't know, we've got to clean that up a little bit.
You have to look at how I think Lemanis traps the players and how a lot of these guys play the pick and roll against us, because that's our weakness. Is that the lowest percentage value for money shot is around about the 20-foot shot, right? It's not quite 3-point. A 3-point shot, the rebound is much more likely to spray and go somewhere else, and therefore you can get an offensive rebound. When you're in the mid-range and the center sags off back around the basket, it's much more likely, if they miss, that you get the offensive board and push the tempo. So it seems like he's just like, all right, we're not letting them get into the paint, and we're not letting them shoot three. We're going to let them go in the mid-range and see how that goes. It's kind of worked. as much as we score, they score against us. We seem to be more efficient at scoring in this tournament, and that's why we've had a lot of points scored against us. Is that we let them get into this mid-range to shoot, but I think it kind of throws teams off that once that dries up, they can't do much else. No one's shooting threes well against us. No one's getting in the paint. It's literally that foul line floater or foul line jumper. And if that goes dry, or if they clamp down in an defensive situation even harder, there's nothing else anyone can go to. I don't know. That's my take on why it's just a lower percentage shot. It's easy to get an defensive board than a 3-ball that may go anywhere, or getting into the paint where the percentages are much higher. Stop them getting into the paint. Make them take the least effective shot, which is a 20-foot mid-range jumper, and move on. You got to yeah.
It helps that we've got guys like Baines, the keg type of player who's a keg power forward. You got Joe Ingles is kind of like a keg as well. You got Nick Kay coming off the bench who's kind of like a keg. And then you kind of, like, he's using Bogut really well to just go, oh, you just, we'll slot you in here just for a little bit, and you do these little things. And then it's making Bogut play a little bit better as well. Like, I feel like he's been a little bit out of form, like after the Warriors and then in those preseason games in Australia. Like, he looks a little bit sort of out of sorts, Bogut, but he's come through really well in these games. Sorry.
No, you're right. I think he had a really good game against Canada. I think Sabonis played very well against him in this game. Got him fouled out early in the fourth quarter, just playing in the low block, being smart about it, and just drawing fouls. There was nothing much he could do, Bogut. He just had to foul out because, what else can you do? Baines played I think Baines was man of the match, the Lithuania game. Dude shot 3 from 5, timely threes.
8 of 15, 21 points, 13 boards, even 2 dimes to go with that.
2 dimes. Yeah. He was plus 16 on the night. That's nuts. Oh, no, sorry, that was Patty Mills. Where's Bainesy? Bainesy was plus 5. Well, that's still pretty good. But it's just, for a big man that can now, we now have a stretch 5. I didn't think we had that. We now have a stretch 5, which is going to be very, very good against Rudy Gobert, against France. Just saying.
Well, the big things, like, you're looking at Bogut and thinking, oh, right, those two can match up well together. Like, Rudy Gobert seems to struggle against the thicker guys. So I don't know if I'd really put Bogut on Gobert. Baines. Like, but I'm talking about Bogut. Like, if you're looking at raw match for match, you're probably like, oh, we'll plan a lot of minutes for Bogut to be on Rudy Gobert, because Rudy Gobert doesn't shoot jump shots. That's good. But where we've got a little bit of a wrinkle here is Baines and Ingles, where we can kind of get in between that. Like, Rudy really struggles against sort of those keg players that get underneath him and kind of keep him off the boards and keep him out of the paint, because the lob threat is always there, and it's all about sort of horizontal spacing and keeping away from the basket. Like, and Joe Ingles kind of looks a bit tired. Do you think a little bit? or is that
He's
just
playing
how
a
he
lot of
is?
minutes.
Yeah.
I think he's playing a lot of minutes. I mean, playing a game every 2 days, even in the NBA, you get a 3 day stretch sometimes,
Mm.
or you get rested minutes. He's playing high intensity basketball, and he's running the paint. He's playing 31 minutes a game.
Mm.
Um, he does look a bit tired, but
Mm.
maybe that's just a conditioning thing. Hopefully, I mean, I would, hopefully we blow, because I don't know the Dominican Republic too well. All I know is that Al Horford said he didn't want to play for them. So there we are. Um,
Oh, good. We don't have to play against Horford. That's good.
we need to blow these guys out by third quarter and give everyone a rest. That's
Mm.
really what we need to happen. We shouldn't have played um, Senegal that long and not given these guys a rest. So
Yeah.
that's what needs to happen tonight. We need to get out early, let the guards do the work. I think Paddy and Delhi are fit as fiddles and can go all game. Delhi can press the whole time.
Yeah.
He's there's one thing he did. He's a pest, and he's very fit. I think Nick Kay might be a really good option to pop on Gobert as well. I mean, he's not going to get him for height, but in terms of that keg body style
Mm.
and push him around, just to give Bogut a rest or allow Bogut to come on the weak side block to potentially stop Rudy from turning and getting to the basket.
Mm.
But we're going to come up against this with Boban as well. You're going to have freaks in the end in this. There's 7-3. There's not much you can do. You just have to play a better outside game. And I think
Did you see that meme of Boban where he's a human selfie stick?
yeah,
That's pretty good. So what? Who are the potential teams that we're playing Dominican Republic tonight? Who are the other potential teams we can play after France? So essentially we have to win these 2 games to go to a quarterfinal, and if we don't, we got like a second chance. Is that right?
no. So
No.
if we win these two, if we win these 2 games, we go to the quarterfinal. If we lose tonight and don't beat France, we're out. So if we lose these 2 games, we're
so
out.
we've got to at least win tonight against the Dominican Republic. Like you would expect that as Australia beating the Dominican Republic, but then we got like a second chance if we win that against France.
Yeah. So if we lose against France, if we win that and lose against France, and France beats Lithuania, we're through.
Yeah.
We just play Serbia in the next round. So we really want to top this group to play Serbia in a semi-final and not a quarterfinal. Because Serbia are the team to beat. I think that they will beat the USA if they get there. But if we manage to knock off Serbia, I think that we will be the team to beat.
So what? So we'll do a preview of what do you reckon? Who's your team that we want to play in the next round or whatever it is?
I think we want to play Brazil, potentially.
So how do these groups work? So that we just get kind of reformed into a new set of groups.
Yeah. So we're either going to play Brazil, Greece, or sorry, no. Where's the Serbia? No, I'm wrong. So we're either going to play Spain, Italy, or Puerto Rico in the next round. Probably Spain or Serbia.
Ooh, so we play whoever comes out of Group L, depending on where we finish. If we finish top of the group, we play the bottom, or if we finish bottom of the group, we play the top, or above the line. You know what I mean?
Above the line, yeah.
Ooh, Spain or Serbia? Who would you want to play? Probably Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Spain's probably the weaker team in this respect. Ricky
still
Rubio,
good,
I think, still good team. Been top team for years, but I still think I'd rather play Spain. Serbia just looking absolutely devastating.
Yeah, who have Serbia got in their team? So Nikola
Jokic, Bogdanovic,
Richie
Belovic,
Jovic.
Jovic.
A lot of itches.
A lot of itches, a lot of scratches. Bogdanovic, Jokic, Marjanovic, Belisha, yeah. 4 NBA players in there, which is pretty good.
Is that, besides the USA team, I wonder if that's probably the most NBA players.
Ours.
So, we got Ingles, Delhi, Paddy, Baines.
Bogut.
Yeah, Bogut. Wow. Yeah.
Hey, there was an article that came out 2 weeks ago saying Steve Kerr would have him back this year for the post NBL games. They're actually leaving a spot open for him.
Oh, it's such a waste of a roster spot, in my opinion.
I kind of agree, but whatever.
But they're in just such a flux, though. The Warriors, man, they'd just take him back just for the fun of it,
Yeah, definitely.
They're
definitely.
basically just as a toss it all in and see how it goes this season with no pressure anyway, type of thing. So so what after that? If we advance to the quarters, or is that essentially who we play, Spain or Serbia?
Spain or Serbia, and then the semis we play Spain or Serbia.
So who would we play in the quarters?
Oh, we could play France as well. We could play
France,
France in
okay.
the corner, yeah. But I don't think France is going to get there. Just a quick one: the power rankings are in.
Yeah.
This is as of the 5th. Serbia 1, Australia 2, USA 3, France 4, Spain 5, Brazil 6. So we've had a bit of a thing on our shoulders
Mm.
put there saying that we're ranked number 2, which is pretty big.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Anyway, we'll see in an hour what unfolds.
Yeah, hopefully we just blast the Dominicans and just smash the doors open and then make a good run in the rest of this tournament, because there's definitely an avenue I can see this team getting to the final. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, we'll make the finals. How good are we? I'm just saying, if we could just sneak past that semi-final stage, then, well, obviously we'd be straight into the final. But I really do see a path where, unless we play the USA in the semis, that we can make the finals.
If there's an upset, like Spain has a great night, France has a great night over Serbia or Spain or something like that, I think there's a pathway to the finals.
Mm.
I think, but if Serbia, mate, they're averaging 103 points a game.
Serbia.
Yeah.
In FIBA too. Oosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well-drilled team as well.
Yes, very good, and a nationalistic team. They want to play for their country as well, and they want to beat the USA.
All right, what else do we got to talk about NBA wise? Anything else going on?
Not as this yet. I think it's all kind of on the World Cup at the moment. Rumors Carmelo Anthony is potentially going to the Brooklyn Nets. That's the latest rumor. Seems like that's where all the oldies are going to play these days. But it'd definitely be a draw crowd. I think it'd be nice for him to play there. I think he's still pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we're going to be doing some upcoming pods. Obviously, team previews for the Aussies. Coming up. Counting down to August 26th, I think, is the first official NBA game, isn't it?
August 26th.
No, October.
We're going to go back in time. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
October 26th, I think, or October 28th is the first official NBA game of the year. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to Philly playing. I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of the games and watching some things. We're going to be bringing you videos this year as well, which I'm really excited about on YouTube. So stick around for those. But yeah, as I said, we'll be bringing some different content this year now that we've got some gear upgrades and some better internet.
Yeah, which is good. I'm loving this better internet, making me way more productive. Don't forget the King's Dime as well. On the King's Dime, we'll probably throw this up on the YouTube as well. Not on the Podbean, I think, because it just is going to waste bandwidth. But we'll throw it up on YouTube, just kind of simulcast it. If you want to subscribe, any of the things down here, Aussies Taking Over the NBA on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, Podcast Addict, iTunes, SoundCloud. Anything else we got to plug?
That's it, mate.
No, that's it.
Keep it real. Just
another bite-sized one. What do we got coming up in the next couple of weeks, really, before the start of the season? Mainly it's just NBL preseason before. That's about it, really.
A couple of preseason games. I think we've got 3 or 4 games. Playing Illawarra. I think we're going to go down to Illawarra to watch that game.
Yeah,
I'm definitely keen. Yeah, definitely keen to go down and watch that game in the Illawarra.
7 o'clock, but it's pretty late.
What, on a Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. I've got on this calendar, but
that's all right. We'll go down.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Give the people what they want.
That's it, mate. Give the people what they need.
All right.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
All right, take it easy, everyone. See you later.
Yeah.